Good morning, welcome back to another car show in Ardingly, no less. Now, I found a car that's really nice that I want you to have a look at. The owner's name is Paul, so we're going to get set up and then we're going to go and have a look at the car. Be back in a minute. Right, I'm back. I'm here with Paul. He's going to be behind the camera, but he's got a mic on, so we'll be able to hear everything about it. Right, Paul.
Okay, so what we've got in front of us is a Lancia Fulvia 1972 1.3S. So this is the South African version that's come over from South Africa, relatively dry climate, less rust on the bodies when to bring them over here. The guy brought it over was a South African himself. He brought it over about in 2018 and he spent about 3 years effectively stripping it back to bare shell, cutting out any rust that was on it, and he had to absolutely replace every single part that needed replacing. It's not a pure, absolute 100% reproduction of what a 1.3 would be. It's got some extra bits on it. It's got updated Chromodora wheels, but you can see here in the engine bay it's looking pretty immaculate, so he's brought out new air filters. Uniquely for Fulvias, it's a 1.3S V4. So lots of small engines, of course, were 4-cylinder straight fours, and this is a V4, very compact, sits in front of the front axle, and Lancia had a history of doing V engines long before this Fulvia came out. But it's a lovely small compact installation.
So what are these here?
You've got twin Solexes there, which
like the carburetors?
Yep, carburetors, yep. Two twin Solexes there. And you've got
and this is the main lump.
That's the main V4, sitting on its slanty V4. You can see it's canted down on its side to lower the profile for the bonnet. I say it's all very small and compact for a Lancia engine. They did two capacities. This is the 1.3 and the 1.6, which is the rallying one, which is often done the 1.6 HF, which is the high capacity rallying engine. So it was a very successful design at the time, and I say they were very successful in rallies. And this is the 1.3, the smaller brother of it, really.
And what year was this again?
It's a 1972.
72. So what was the brake horsepower for this?
It's about 90 brake horsepower.
90. Like so back in the day, it was fast.
It was relatively fast. It was relatively fast. So uniquely for the South African, you've got the European front. So the four headlamps there sit in a row. If you get the UK spec ones, they find the outer headlamps are raised slightly, just to comply with the English legislation at the time, which has meant the headlamps have to be higher. So you can tell the European and the South African ones away from the UK ones because of the headlamps. I like the headlamps being in a row, and often you find obviously the European ones are all left-hand drive, so to get right-hand drive and get your headlamps in a row was which attracted me to the model.
So let's talk about these wheels. So are these original wheels?
They're not original. They're the Chromodora wheels options, which the 1.6s had on them. So the Chromodora's 14-inch. They remanufacture them now, so they're obviously brand new, but they're actually a copy of the existing Chromodora wheels that were on the 1.6 HFs at the time. So you can see that this version's got no bumpers on it. A lot of them were debumpered. The guy who actually restored this one filled in and welded up all the holes for the bumpers as well, so it's got no holes to cover up. But it gives it a sleek look, as long as you don't touch anything. I see that the back end kind of curves in, doesn't it? Yes, yeah,
it kind of curves in on it.
It's a nice little rump, isn't it? The guy's done a very good job on cleaning up the back end.
I don't know if you viewers can see it, but it kind of curves inwards and then comes back out again. Very unique, very different. Almost like if someone's rear-ended you, if someone's gone bang.
Well, I hope someone won't rear-end me, but there we go.
So, paintwork-wise, it's had a full respray?
Had a full respray, but I say the body was off, everything was out, stripped back. It was on a rotating jig thing, effectively, so everything was stripped off, underseal underneath, and he just restarted from scratch, welded up any rust that needed to be done, patched it properly and done a good job on it, and then he completely resprayed it and put it all back together again. So, you know, it's not just a quick flash of paint over the top. It's been done
done really well. You can tell, can't you, that it's been absolutely... Can we open this door?
Yep.
Wow. So what's sort of standard in here and what isn't?
Well, essentially the front seats are replacement seats. They're modern seats, Corvu seats, which are not very comfortable. The original ones in the 1.3 wouldn't have had headrests, and they would be vinyl. So the guy's put in some modern valley seats and equivalent. And he's put a Momo steering wheel on as well. So it's a smaller steering wheel than what it would have been originally.
5-speed gearbox?
5-speed gearbox.
Oh, wow.
With a dog leg. So the first gear is down, and then obviously up for second, and off you go. So it's unusual when you're trying to think about putting it away. You've got to make sure you're in the first instead of reverse.
So what's the mileage on this now? Is it original 100? Is that 120?
No, it's kilometres, and it's effectively the whole thing's been rebuilt anyway. So
we're not sure.
We're not sure exactly what the mileage was out there, but
the mileage wouldn't be
slam it
necessarily for this
No.
this engine.
The engine's original. It's a matching engine, matching numbers engine.
So how long have you owned this car?
I've had it about just over a year now, a year and a bit. So just getting out as much as I can, take along to these classic car events and showing it off. It's it keeps up with modern traffic when you're driving along. It's not going to set the world on fire. It's not the fastest car out there, but it's a very comfortable car. You put it in fifth gear and you can cruise along quite happy every day. You know.
So the question is, how much has this car cost you?
I'd rather not say. A lot of money.
A lot of money
at auction sites.
Give me a sort of in the region of.
In the region of 20. Yes.
Okay, over or in between it.
One of those.
So.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking for a car in this condition with the money, then you're looking at in the region of £20,000. You heard it right, £20,000 to have a car like this. And doesn't it look good though? Doesn't it look brilliant? It's absolutely stunning, this car. You can't get away from the fact that it just classic. That's all I've got to say. It's a classic. It's in the region of £20,000 classic. What more could you want? Well, thank you, Paul, for that. That's a lovely looking motor. Really is nice. Right, we're going to stop the video and move on. Where's the sun? And move on to the next video. So be back in a minute. I'm back at it again, and I found one of my favourites when I was younger. Honestly, it's one of those cars you see everywhere, and everyone's probably got one, but this one is a little bit special. The owner of the car is called Nick. Pause the video, gonna get him mic'd up, and then once he's mic'd up, we're gonna talk about the car. Be right back. Right, I'm here with this lovely gentleman. He's called Nick. Now, he doesn't mind being on camera, so I'm going to put the camera just so you know who Nick is. So, here's Nick.
How do you do?
There we
nice
go.
To speak to you.
Now, Nick has
A nice 1982 Vanden Plas Metro Automatic.
boom. Oh,
In the
Now.
lovely cashmere gold.
let's get out of the shade and get in the sunlight, and then we can talk about it. So, tell us all about it, Nick. Tell us why the Metro.
Ah, well, there's a very good story about that. Way back in 1983, I bought a new 1.3 HLE Metro. At the time, obviously, it had children, and it was an ideal family car. It was also quite highly geared, so the thing really flew. I always had a soft spot for Metros. So now, in the classic era, I did have a Datsun 240, which I sold for various reasons, and I wanted something, A, which was roomy, B, very usable, C, was fairly easy to work on, D, was interesting, economical, and also, most important, it complied with ULEZ, because this is a 1982 car.
Of course,
And-
good old ULEZ.
Additionally, back in the day, I had driven my brother-in-law's 850 Mini, which was also automatic, and I remember loving it very much and thinking, what an ideal transmission. It's an identical transmission transferred to the Metro. The engine actually on this is, it's the 1.3 engine, about 65 horsepower, single carb, fitted with an alternator, and of course it's got the famous Hydrogas suspension units.
Oh yes, which you have to
You have to
basically pump. What is it like? What sort of like a fluid, a suspension fluid?
Well, it's a bit complicated, but basically they are gas pressurized spheres or containers, pressurized to 600 psi, I think, with nitrogen. But there's also some liquid in there. You have to use special hydrogas and hydroelastic fluid, but it's also pressurized. So there's a company in Telford who do replacement hydrogas or hydroelastic units, so that's not a problem.
I've just seen this battery is tiny. They didn't need a lot of them to get started back in the day, did they?
It's a pre-engaged starter.
Wow.
But because it's automatic.
Wow. So what year is this again?
82.
So 1982. So I was born in 77, 80, so I was about 16 years old.
So it's done just over 30,000 miles in its entire life.
Only 30,000, right, okay. So this gold was quite popular, wasn't it?
Well, yes, I mean, it's called Cashmere Gold.
Cashmere Gold.
Oh, it's Cashmere Gold, and I love the name. And I've christened it Golden Wonder, and I'm hoping to find a box of Golden Wonder crisps to have in the back of the car.
Brilliant.
Which I believe they are still available.
Now this is was this the top line edition of the Metro back in the day?
Oh no, later on you could get an MG Metro,
Yeah.
which was the 1.3 engine, and then even after that there was the Metro Turbo,
Right.
which was, they were very quick, but they did mash the transmissions.
But this is the Vandam Plus, right?
Yes.
So this is like the luxury version Metro, which was called the Vandam Plus.
With the wooden door cappings, the coach line.
Yeah, the coach and the interior. Yeah, so as you can see over there, you see the wooden door trims and this lovely brown Vela trim, which was quite
Crucial upholstery.
crucial. Oh, but
And the viewers might like to see my drinks holder, which doesn't involve.
is that down there?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to go around and have a look at that. Brilliant.
Which didn't involve any drilling, so nothing's
Wow.
been disturbed.
So as you can see here, the older cars, they had these big metal chrome strips. Chrome was very much an in thing back in the day, and they put on these big plastic, I don't know whether they were
Well, they were
door
rubbing strips.
protectors, I don't know.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Were they door protectors?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So when you open the door, you wouldn't get a mark on you?
The other thing I would just like to say about the Metros generally is that when you get in it and drive it compared to a modern, you get a great feeling of spaciousness. And the reason for that is, I'll be a bit technical here, but there's a thing called the greenhouse ratio, and that is the ratio of the height of the window compared to the height of the car.
Okay.
And if you compare that as a ratio, the higher or the greater the number of this ratio, the greater the feeling of spaciousness and all-round visibility. Compare and contrast to a modern car where they tend to have quite small greenhouse ratios and you can't see very little.
Oh, right. Wow. So obviously this is the lovely back end. Obviously Vandam Plus, and it's an automatic.
Yes.
Now Nick has already told us that the mileage is
now
30,000.
It is now 31,529.
31. Don't even run in. Not even run. Now obviously that's mine, okay, and that's done 120. So you can tell.
And it's got a sunroof.
Was that an
standard.
optional extra back then, do you think?
No, standard, I think.
Standard? What they did have, am I wrong or right in saying this, Nick? But what they did do back in the day is instead of alloys, they had this chrome.
Do you know the correct
Trim.
word for those?
Go on then.
Rim bellisher.
Rim bellishers.
What we all need, a touch of rim bellishers.
Yeah. So they were steel wheels, but they thought to make it back in the day look sort of a bit more nicer, they put these rim bellishers on, as you call it. Which
A bit later this year, I'm going to get the wheels powder coated and back to the original British Leyland colour.
Oh.
And I managed to find the correct colour code and a firm in Edenbridge who will do that for me.
Wow. So, the question the viewers will want to hear. So, how long you had it?
I've had it since the 31st of Jan 2024. And it is now the 15th of June.
So about
18
okay.
months nearly.
So the question is that the viewers will probably all want to hear, how much did this cost you? If you don't want to tell the right amount, a ballpark figure.
It cost £7,000.
£7,000. So there we go. So if you want a Vanden Plus with just over £30,000, this will set you back just over £7,000. And I've got to say, this car, now we've got some room. Let's take a step back now, look at that. That's history right there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let's have a look on the driver's side. Now we've got room, we can open the door. So this is Nick's little cup holder. Brilliant. So he puts his drinks in there. Brilliant. Here's a little dash. So Vanden Plus steering wheel. So that's leather.
Yes, that's a Vanden Plus feature.
Yeah, that's a nice leather steering wheel. And again, you have this old smell. With these cars, you can't get away from it. And I say it time and time again, you have this lovely old smell.
Digital clock, and interestingly, to reset it, you have to turn. There's a little knob, and you have to turn the knob anti-clockwise to do the hours, and clockwise to do the minutes.
Oh, blimey! So, how long were you think you're going to keep this for?
Well, I don't mind admitting to the viewers that I'm actually coming up for 79 years old.
Oh, blimey!
So, well, this will probably be my last classic.
Last one. And what did you own before you bought this?
Well, I had a Datsun 240Z.
Oh.
Which was an ex-rally car.
Uh-huh.
And I sold that through the auction process in November 2023. I had that for 14 years. It had been used as a historic rally car in Yorkshire before.
Yeah.
And it was actually an American car converted from left-hand to right-hand drive and all that.
Wow.
And I remember when I bought it, the guy said to me, would you want triple Webers with 210 horsepower, or do you want twin SUs with 180? I said, well, for a grandpa, I think 180 is plenty for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the same time, for a while, but before that, I had a Dello trials car and trialled that extensively, but that's a whole nother story. I haven't got the car now. It's gone back to North Devon, where it came from.
So now you got this one, you cruise along quite happily at 50 miles an hour. I know because I've had one, and I know how comfortable these are, the suspension. Honestly, if you know about the suspension, so as we were saying earlier, these kind of bounce, but they're really nice and soft.
Yeah. And I wanted a car which I could jump in, and if we needed to go to Scotland, we could, or whatever. You know.
Brilliant. Well, there you go, Nick's Metro Vanden Plus. What can we say? It's absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you for that, Nick. Lovely insight to your car. And I think that might just about wrap it up today. So I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.